Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Vitella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, we talk about why Land Academy members are partners and how we all win together.
In case you were wondering, we do use Audition because you're looking at it now on your screen.
I'm going to leave that in.
Okay. I'm waiting.
And in case you were wondering.
Waiting.
In case you were additionally wondering, that's why there's two people instead of one on the show. So we can catch our errors and make fun of each other.
Well, here we go.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
You know, if it was a bad hair day, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just let it go.
Oh, would you just want to see yourself?
Yeah, no, I don't want to see myself, but I would just that would be really funny. Just do a whole show and just show only the Adobe Audition thing running. Super funny. Okay, here we go. Ben asks, I have a seller wanting to sell a 30-acre property. However, it's part of a 75-acre lot. Contacted the seller and asked where his 30 of the 75 acres are. He tells me that the lot is not divided and just that he owns 30 of the 75. This is hilarious.
We've all been there, man.
This is great. So I called the county and confirm and the information, and they said, yeah, he owns 30. But not any specific part of it.
That's what the county
This
always
is
says.
great.
Yep, you figured it out.
Sure, yeah.
Anything else?
That's great. Even after getting a copy of the plat map, and it shows a 75-acre lot with several names on it, but not divided in any way. Also, the seller is the 100% owner of his APN, so I would assume that everyone with a stake in the lot would have their own APN. It's great. I have another seller just like this, only a different lot size. This is funny. This reminds me of the other day, like buying property with smart people. Sort of areas. Anyway.
I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah. Is there anything different that can be done with these, or should I just move on? Thanks.
You should move on.
This is good. And
here's why.
Who did you put this in, or someone?
Well, me and Kevin.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a combination of Kevin's answer and mine.
Yeah.
Kevin, our moderator on the site.
Right.
Go ahead, Joe.
Well, yeah. So one of the responses that's already typed in here that Stephen was conveying on the community, it says seller has a fractional interest in the lot, 30 of the 75 acres. Some counties do assign separate APN to each owner. Very confusing. This is probably a deal to walk away from.
Exactly. So
yeah.
And
this
shouldn't turn you off if you're relatively new in this, or even if you're really experienced. I'm going to simplify it right now. I'm not even going to oversimplify it. I'm just going to tell you how it is. And this is very, very, very rare.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting point. So I included it. There's two ways that multiple people can own property. Fractional interest, which is what happened here, or co-ownership. There's three ways. Co-ownership, like Jill and I always do, and like everybody does this day and age, where two LLCs or two people own a piece of property together. If one person passes away, the other person owns it all.
If they did it right.
If they did it right. Joint tenants for rights or survivorship. What used to happen is if two people own a property, Jill and I own one property, 50% of it, she gets an APN and I get an APN.
Isn't that awful?
It's terrible.
I know. And it's hard to because then you go, like, if I say I walk away with my APN and I want to go sell my APN, well, that's great. Well, now the new guy owns half with him, and nobody can still do anything without the other person.
Right. So the counties learned very quickly, specifically in southeastern California, that this is a disaster. However, there's a lot of these properties still out there. So
yeah, they still exist.
Kevin's really right here. You don't really own that 30-acre property, unfortunately. You own like 28% of all of it.
Right.
And it's just a mess.
And again, you can't do anything without the other person.
Yeah, and the third and final way is I own a property with Jill. Mm-hmm. I pass away, but it's not in joint tenants. It's tenants in common. I pass away, and my half of the property goes to my heirs. Mm-hmm. And that's a mess, too.
Exactly.
The whole answer, the silver bullet here is this. Buy property that's either owned by one person or it's owned by multiple people with joint tenants with rights of survivorship. And man, I'll tell you, since I've been in this, since the 90s, that's all I see.
Mm-hmm.
And the vast, vast majority, 99.8% of it is what I just described.
And this is why, too, you want to find out quickly. You know, I have a cheat sheet that I share. If you ever want a copy, email my team. You can have it for free. I always ask right away when you have them on the phone and they're calling you back, hey, is everybody on who's listed on this alive and able to sign? You need to know that. Because if, it's just my wife and I, we're both on there and she's in the kitchen making tea right now, fantastic. Now we can go to the next thing. Because if they're not, this would smoke this out right now. Last thing you want to do, this happens sometimes, is get too far into the process and then this pops up. And you're like, great, and you have you're only buying part of it or something like that. That's not fun.
So it leads you to this question, or it should.
Mm-hmm.
How do I avoid getting these in my mailers at all? Because I don't want to even send them in a letter.
Right.
And here's what you do. You keyword search for capital UND, which stands for undivided interest, for the most part. This will cover, for the most part, it's not a silver bullet, but it will cover most of it.
Mm-hmm.
And get those out of there. And after you've downloaded a bunch of data and you're finding that like 40% of the properties are UND, you hit a county like that, there's only a few in the whole country. I would scrap the whole mailer.
That's good advice.
Because data's cheap.
Yeah.
But mail's not.
Mail's not.
And so
you spent $150 on the data? Big deal.
Just
start over.
Yeah.
Because the hassle and the time and the work and the headaches are not worth it.
Those properties all end up back to the lender, or back to the county municipality for back taxes. Because stuff happens, people die.
Because you know what happens? Like we even have, even now and then, there's one I can think of right now. Every year we get the county tax bill, and it's us with some other person, because it was bought so long ago. Whoever was doing the transactions back then.
You know who did that deal?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't
done. Me.
I know. It was done before Jill arrived.
I know.
His name's Mark Podolsky.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yep.
That's hilarious. So yeah, I know. I see the tax bills come in, and it's half of one of our companies with this other guy, and I always go, oh, there's that guy, there's that property again. And I'm sure he's not paying the taxes either, because he thinks we are. We're not paying the taxes because we don't really care at this point, because we don't know where to find this guy. We accidentally bought an undivided interest in a property.
I've heard stories. You can go do adverse possession actions on this, and for foreclosures. For this one, it's not.
Yeah.
But there are members in our group. Joe Martin's one of them, where he seeks these situations out.
That's true.
And if you can make $200,000 on a deal, and somebody's willing to sign over that enough interest so you can do a foreclosure like that, that could be your whole business. We just don't choose to do it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And you shouldn't either if you're brand new. Today's topic: members are partners.
And how we all win.
Why Land Academy members are partners, and how we all win together, and how we learn how to read at the 3rd grade level. This is the meat of the show.
It's one of those days. Are you coming on? You know what? Okay, is this a celebration? This is show 1001. You know what? This is good. Wait. This is show 1001. It's not a typo. It's not show 1, even though it sounds like it and looks like it today.
This is my first day, sorry.
That's right.
My first day at 3rd grade.
Do you know what this is? It's like you get a new checkbook, right? And you can't start with check number 1 when you're like back in the day. Everybody started with check number 1001. I can't look check 1. I look like I'm brand new here. That's kind of silly.
Brand new.
But that's what it looks like with our show today. Can't be which episode 1001. They started with 1001. No, it really is 1001. We just can't.
You know how you have like 5 or 8 memories of first grade and 5 or 8 memories of 2nd grade and all that? Here's one of my memories of one of those grades. The teacher asked me, Stephen, come up here. I want you to read your own writing in front of the class.
Oh, no.
And of course, I can't read my own writing.
Ha! This is a good one. I've never heard this story.
So,
what did you do?
Atrocious. Oh, I sat there and I cried or whatever. That's why I remember, because it's traumatic.
That's hilarious.
So,
she was right.
Her whole point was, if you guys can't read your own writing, how do you expect me to read it?
Exactly.
And so
that's pretty darn
here
funny.
I am sitting in front of the camera, not being able to read. And I was probably traumatized so much that
explains a lot.
I'll
you don't write a lot of notes. You email and do stuff. So it maybe did hit home. Thank you for sharing. This had to be very difficult today. Thank you for
Jill's
sharing
been wondering why the hell she doesn't get any handwritten notes from me for 10 years.
Exactly.
That's in case Jill interpret.
That's
I
awesome.
send him a Valentine's card every single year, and he does.
I get an Excel attachment.
I get a love note in Excel.
Yeah. All right, got it.
Why Land Academy members are partners and how we all win together. That's better.
I like that. Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
Man, this is awesome. When we started out with this whole Land Academy idea, I knew that we didn't want to make it a big thing. You know, it really was trying to help out people in our community. You know, maybe that's why it's grown to this. We were already doing deals with these people as wholesalers, and they were we're getting to know each other, and you know, they're wondering, how the heck are you buying them? And we would say, okay, go to CoreLogic, get this data, download, do this. It's direct mail. You got to put a number on it. You know, you got to do this, this, and this. Remember, that's how we started. And so Land Academy was just a natural progression of all we did is tell what we've been telling all of our kind of friends / customers at the time. Really telling them in a more formal and more organized way. That's Land Academy, the program. Here's our whole business model. It's no big, we didn't think it was a big deal and a big secret, you know. And, you know, if you want to do this better, we can help you. Or if you're somebody new that's just even that's the whole thing, other investors came to us like, hey, I like what you guys got going on here. What do you guys do? Okay, here we go. And we're still that way. We still walk around, you know, you're talking about the guy on the back of the boat, the boat broker.
Yesterday.
You know, if he really said, hey, would you have, you guys, this is really interesting. Hey, can I buy you guys a cup of coffee after we do this? Because I'd like to ask you some questions. We would say, sure. That's really how we are. So, and that's why our members are our partners. It really is, that's our community. And I love that we don't have a huge 4,000 member community.
Yeah, me too.
That I couldn't possibly get to know them.
I would cut it off long before that.
Well, you did. We kind of did.
Yeah.
We used to have a visible cap on there. Remember, we took that off because I didn't want me to get worried thinking, you know, I didn't want anybody to think that this was a sales thing and there's a limit. You know, I didn't want to scare people into like, I better enroll because there's only 5 slots left. No, I didn't want to do that. So we took those numbers off. But by design, you know, we really have this great group of partners. And that's how I see our community. And what's great is now when we say partners, we really mean partners. We're doing deals together. They're doing deals together. And we really are all getting better and doing better transactions together. The stuff that I get to be involved in right now today, the transactions and the volume and the dollar amount and the size is way more than I would be doing on my own, you know.
Here's an example, a working example. When Jill and I were buying and selling land together in our back bedroom, we were buying and selling rural vacant land. And it stopped right there, and we were killing it.
Yeah.
We were making a great living.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. In fact, it could have gone on forever just like that. A lot like our members.
Yeah.
Well, then we started Land Academy. We started to accumulate members, and we started doing webinars, and they're giving us feedback. And we were doing deal reviews like we do every Thursday. And deals would come up like, well, isn't really rural vacant land. For whatever reason, this guy found an infill lot. It's between 2 properties. And I'm sitting there explaining to this member, well, you can't price this at like $180 an acre. This is a whole different thing. It's valued on the value house at the end cost of the house and what you could sell it for. And he's looking at me cross-eyed, and I'm like, all right, well, I need to do Land Academy 2.0 then. Infill lots.
That's true.
And then it became houses. Well, I use this methodology. Remember Justin was saying?
Yeah.
I use this methodology and just bought 14 apartment buildings with my partner over here and just
Never mind, we've been doing it too, but
well,
we
wait a second.
didn't make it a
I'm
big
like,
deal.
Wait a second, it works this way on how you value it, and how, you shouldn't be sending mailers out and all that, you know, now that's House Academy. So then people are coming to us saying, I got this great deal. It costs $80,000. I know it's worth $200,000. Jill starts deal funding. Mm-hmm. So we end up being, and now God knows how many deals you've done with deal funding.
Do you know what it is? We're solving problems. Hold on a moment. It just hit me now.
So those are our partners, is my point.
Well, yeah. All it is everywhere along the way, everybody's asked for it. We're like, okay, we'll do it. Hey, you guys teach us how you're doing it. And we couldn't do it one-off. I mean, it really is true. I used to say Land Academy came about because there's only 2 of us, and we couldn't spread the word fast enough. So we put it in a program so we could help more people, period. And then they said, oh, now we need you guys are killing it over here with this CoreLogic data. And we did say, go get CoreLogic. Call this guy. Here's what I spend. Here's what you need to do. And here's, you've seen how we use it. Here's go get it. And then the next thing you know, there was enough of them that was cheaper for us to do it all as a group. And I'm like, hey, we can bring the cost down. They came to us.
Way cheaper to add our members to our existing,
to be licensed providers.
Mothership account.
Right. Because we had the history in the background and we could do it.
Than it was for them to go get their own thing. And so then it launched from there. And then we bought now bulk mail company. It's way cheaper to send it through us. And because we only send it to owners, we've got a staff that helps do the mail merge and the whole thing.
Well, my point with everything is our members are our partners and we all went together. Everything we've done has been because people asked. Our online community, people said, we want to talk to you. Okay. Our weekly member calls. Can we reach out with you? Can we connect with you every week? Okay, here we are.
Can you look at my mailer before I send it out?
Deal review.
We launched a deal review thing.
Exactly. Hey, can I talk to you about XYZ? Yep. Hey, we want to meet you in person. Yep. All right, we can do that too.
So this is a long way of us saying
we all win together.
We win together, and if something's holding you back as a member or not, reach out to us, and if it's in a long list of stuff that we've already gotten, we'll develop a tool for it and be your partner.
Yeah.
Like infillots.com. That was because Mike Marshall, a guy that's in our group, is an expert at seeing what you can do with property. So he and I, all of us together, developed it as partners, and we help people see what they can do with their land.
Exactly.
So there's way more that we can mention here that I don't want, at the risk of sounding, I don't want to. I don't want to sound like we're selling anything because we're not.
No, it's just about. For me, it's explaining the value, and why we're here. And you know what? Like yesterday, we thanked people. I'm going to thank you guys here too.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Like I just said, I'm getting a better deal now on my data too, by the way, and I'm getting a better deal on my mail too. So thank you for being part of it. We do all win together. Bulk and spreading it all out. We're all winning.
You know what this reminds me of, and we'll kind of close on this, is I read an article recently with Elon Musk, and he said the number one complaint that they get, constantly getting complaints are, there's not enough charging stations. So he looked into it, and he's like, well, the reason that
that's good.
We're not getting, did you read this?
No, tell me.
The reason we don't have enough charging stations is because somebody will plug their car into a public charging station on Friday when they get home from work, and unplug it on Monday when they leave.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, that case study was in Laguna Beach.
I've seen it.
And so he's like, well, we're going to solve that. And within days, they once the car is charged, they can tell how it's metered. Once the car is charged, you get charged $1 a minute.
Brilliant.
It's like a parking meter. You have to move your car when it's done.
Brilliant.
So
that was good.
He responded to his customers' complaints quickly. Not complaints, but like, hey, it'd be cool if we had this.
Hey, we need to solve this problem.
That's what Land Academy is, in-house academy.
That's really good.
Join us next time for the episode called Keeping Up with Internet Technology and Real Estate Acquisitions and Internet Sales. Wow, that's a long title, Joe.
Yes, it's a good one.
What is it? You read it.
I love this one. Keeping Up with Internet Technology in Real Estate Acquisitions and Sales. And we answer your questions, post it on our online community, landinvestors.com. It is free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
Listen, Mr. Pick on my titles.
It's not only that you're not alone in your real estate ambition, you have an incredible amount of patience for our hack podcast.
What
in
the
show
heck?
number 1001.
1001. Not one, 1001. So, hey, by the way, in case you're curious, just a little thing that my team wanted me to share, but House Academy is live to the public today. We are so excited. Yay. Wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening,
please rate us
subscribe and rate us there. We
are
Steve and
Jill.
Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.